Sorry. Did not mean to do that. Are you still filming? Hello? Okay, it's still filming. That's good. How about blah blah? What is this? Sorry. I'm in Phoenix. It's 6:20 p.m. in Phoenix. Read. That's when you start getting busy, huh? When you start getting busy, huh?
Last night too. I've been on some bull crap, man. At McDonald's on East Chapman Avenue's Orange, Travis Cornell had ordered 5 hamburgers for their golden retriever. Eh. Sitting on the front seat of the pickup, the dog had eaten all of the meat and 2 buns, and it had wanted to express its gratitude by licking his face. You've got the breath of a this dyspeptic dyspeptic of a dyspeptic alligator. He protested He protested. He protested, holding the animal back. The return trip to Santa Barbara took 3.5 hours. The trip, mm, the ret- because the highways were much busier than they had been that morning. Throughout the journey, Travis glanced at his companion and spoke to it, anticipating a display of the unnerving intelligence it had shown earlier. His expectations were unfulfilled. The retriever behaved like any dog on a long trip. Once in a while, it did sit very erect, looking through the windshield or side window of the scenery with what seemed an unusual degree of interest and attention. But most of the time, it curled up and slept on the seat, snuffling in its dreams, or it panted and yawned and looked bored. When the odor of the dog's filthy coat became intolerable, Travis had rolled down the windows for ventilation, and the retriever stuck its head out in the wind. With its ears blown back, hair streaming, it grinned, the foolish and charmingly witless grin of all dogs who had ever ridden shotgun in such a fashion. In Santa Barbara, Travis stopped at a shopping center where he bought several cans of apple, a box of milk-bone dog biscuits, heavy plastic dishes for pet food and water, uh, galvanized tin wash tub, a bottle of pet shampoo flea with the flea flea and tick killing compound, a brush to comb out the animal's tangled coat, a collar and a leash. As Travis loaded those items in the back of the pickup, the dog watched him through the rear window of the cab. Its damp nose pressed to the glass. Getting behind the wheel, he said, "You're filthy. You're filthy, and you stink. You're not going to be a lot of trouble about taking a bath, are you?" The dog yawned. By the time Travis pulled into the driveway of his four-room rented bungalow on the northern edge of Santa Barbara and switched off the pickup's engine, he was beginning to wonder if the pooch's actions that morning had really been as amazing as he remembered. "If you don't show me the right stuff again soon," he told the dog, "if you don't show me the right stuff again soon," he told the dog as he slipped his key into the front door of the house. "I'm going to have to assume that I stripped the gear out there. I'm going to have to assume that I stripped the gear out there in the woods, that I'm just nuts, and that I imagine everything." Standing beside him on the stoop, the dog looked up quizzically. "Do you want to be responsible for giving me doubts about my own sanity? Hmm?" An orange and black butterfly swooped past the retriever's face, startling it. The dog barked once and raced after the fluttering prey off the stoop, down the walkway, dashing back and forth across the lawn, leaping high, snapping at the air, repeatedly missing its bright quarry. It nearly collided the diamond patterned the diamond patterned trunk of a big Canary Island date palm, then narrowly avoided knocking itself unconscious in a head-on encounter with a concrete bird bath, and at last crashed clumsily into a bed of New Guinea impatiens over which the butterfly soared to safety. The retriever rolled once, scrambled to its feet, and lunged out of the flowers. When he realized that it had been foiled, the dog returned to Travis. It gave him a sheepish look. "Some wonder dog," he said. "Good grief." He opened the door, and the retriever slipped in ahead of him. It padded off immediately to explore these new rooms. You better be housebroken, Travis shouted after it. He carried the galvanized wash tub and a plastic bag full of other purchases into the kitchen. He left the food and pet dishes there and took everything else outside through the back door. He put the bag on the concrete patio and set the tub beside it, near a coiled hose that was attached to an outdoor faucet. Inside again, he removed the bucket from beneath the kitchen sink, filled it with the hottest water he could draw, carried it outside, and emptied it into the tub. When Travis had made 4 trips with the hot water, the retriever appeared and began to explore the backyard. By the time Travis filled the tub more than half full, the dog had begun to urinate every few feet along the whitewashed concrete block wall that defined the property line, making its territory. When you finish killing the grass, Travis said, you'd better be in the mood for a bath, you wreck. The retriever turned toward him and cocked its head and appeared to listen to when he spoke, but it did not look like one of those smart dogs in the movies. It did not look as if it understood him. It just looked dumb. As soon as he stopped talking, it hurried a few steps farther along the wall and peed again. Watching the dog relieve itself, Travis felt an urge of his own. He went inside to the bathroom, then changed into an old pair of jeans and a t-shirt for the sloppy job ahead. When Travis came outside again, the retriever was standing beside the steaming washtub. The hose in his teeth somehow had managed to turn on the faucet. Water gushed out of the hose into the tub. Ziggy, stop. All right, so a quick recap of what I read. Um, Shrek is stalking Nora now, being a total creep. He thought he thought wait. Being a creep the first time didn't satisfy him, so he started calling Nora again. Pressed her about her fake husband, the police officer, which Nora couldn't really like answer him, which was kind of funny. And also back to Travis and his retriever still on an adventure, still going. Yeah, but that's where it left off. That's the summary, even though it's vague. It's not really like into details like that, but that's what I read. Yeah.